My name's Keith Moore. I'm a police officer in Kentucky. I live in Lexington, Kentucky, and I'm originally from Eastern Kentucky in Beattyville. Beattyville is a small, tight-knit community that I grew up in, very conservative in the Bible Belt. The perception of LGBTQ folks in my hometown was that they were perverts, they were degenerates. I had heard it in church and school and communities, among my family, that they were people that were better off dead or shipped off to an island where they could die by themselves. Growing up in my family as an LGBTQ youth was very much in the closet. It was something that wasn't talked about except in negative terms. My mother had told me repeatedly growing up that if she ever found out that I was gay, that she would feel like such a failure. So I grew up under that, and the last thing I would ever want to do is hurt my mother or members of my family or bring shame to them. I first realized that I was gay at the age of 11, and that was a secret that I kept to myself growing up because of my upbringing, and it wasn't until later in life that I came out as gay. Well, first of all, I was forced out by a close family friend that outed me, and it brought a lot of shame to my family. It caused a lot of gossip in our community, and that was one of the primary reasons that I decided to move to Lexington, is just to get away from all that. My conversion therapy began upon the behest of a couple of family members and close friends that suggested it. And I was at my wit's end. I didn't know what else to do. I was having suicidal tendencies, suicidal thoughts, so I thought, why not give it a try? So I found an organization in Lexington that was religious-based, and I started going there, and I attended for about 12 weeks. I was brought to believe that there was something wrong with me and that I needed repair, I needed help in order to become normal again. So those were my thoughts going in. And just to go into a little bit about what the therapy was, they did an initial screening. They decided that since I had an absent father and an overprotective mother, that was the reason that I was having these tendencies, and they referred to them as tendencies or same-sex attraction. Anytime that I used the word gay or the word homosexual, they would correct me and make me use their terminology. So we did that. There were exercises that they had me do outside of counseling sessions. They also offered me shock therapy that I turned down. I stopped conversion therapy on my own. The last conversation I had with my therapist, and we were talking about the love that I had for, at the time, my boyfriend, and he said that wasn't love, that it was an emotional attachment, and that was when the red flag went up in my mind of that's exactly what love is an emotional attachment. So that's when I ended, at that point, it's when I ended the therapy. Going into the therapy, I already had low self-esteem because, again, reparative therapy suggests that I need fixing. There's something about me that needs repair. So it was already low. But it was even lower after the therapy because they just reinforced stereotypes and misinformation that I'd heard growing up. So I would have to say that my self-esteem, my self-worth was even lower after the therapy than it was before. It was damaging. My suicidal tendencies, my suicidal thoughts increased after the therapy. Instead of being better, they were worse. I can remember several times driving back, because at the time I didn't live in Lexington. I had to drive to Lexington for the therapy, and I remember driving back on several occasions on a 2-lane road and passing a semi and thinking all I have to do is swerve over at the last second and it'll take care of this, and he won't be hurt, the truck driver won't be hurt, but I'll be over it. I do not think conversion therapy should be called therapy because it gives a misnomer that it's somehow helping, when in fact it isn't. I have had long-lasting effects from my conversion to therapy. Not just my family shunning me or friends, but also psychological. I've had recurring nightmares that resurface from time to time. So if anything, the legislators need to know that something this damaging to children and that lasts this long and will last them for a lifetime should be banned. I think conversion therapy should be banned in general in Kentucky, but especially where kids are concerned, because they have no control over getting the therapy or when the therapy should stop. They're totally at the behest of their parents, who are often misinformed on the therapy. I was hoping that between prayer and therapy that I could be quote unquote cured. I do not think you can reverse homosexuality. I found my answer in accepting myself, and which was very hard, again, going back to my upbringing, that being gay was wrong. Being able to accept yourself, being able to be self-aware of who you are, is a tremendous burden lifter, and I just have a peace now that I never had before. I didn't really need conversion therapy. What I needed was someone to guide me along the process, along the way, and to be able to accept myself. My partner helped me along that journey. And he came from an opposite background. His family was accepting, he was out. He didn't have the experiences I did, but he still stood by my side and helped me through those experiences. So I credit him a lot for that. My name is Keith Moore. I'm a gay male and a police officer in the Commonwealth of Kentucky, and I oppose conversion therapy. I encourage legislators to pass the Youth Mental Health Protection Act, House Bill 19 and Senate Bill 30.